Hello and welcome to the Cycle Sync with G, where by the end of this 5 minutes you're going to understand the fundamentals of the female menstrual cycle. So, a typical textbook cycle lasts 28 days, though this varies from person to person. And the ultimate goal of the cycle is to prepare the body for pregnancy. Yes, it does that every single month. The cycle is classically broken up into 4 sequential phases, beginning with the menstrual phase, which, yep, you guessed it, menstruation, aka the period. So that will be roughly 4 to 7 days, and that is the menstrual phase. The follicular phase is the first 14 days of the cycle. It includes menstruation up until ovulation. Ovulation occurs around day 14 and is this tiny little 2 to 3 day window, and that's the ovulatory phase. Then as soon as you've ovulated, you are in the luteal phase, and that is 14 days long and takes you up until your next period. But basically we can divide the cycle into 2 halves, since the mini event phases of menstruation and ovulation kind of fall on top of or within these 2 halves. The first half being the follicular phase, which is around 14 days and includes menstruation. The second half is the luteal phase, which is exactly 14 days from ovulation until the start of the next menstrual phase. There are 2 main hormones, estrogen and progesterone. They both kind of have their own half of the cycle, where one is more dominant. So the follicular phase is also known as the estrogen dominant phase, and it's known for being a little bit more energetic, sociable, bubbly, tolerant, bulletproof. And then you've got the luteal phase, which is progesterone dominant, and it's known for being slightly lower energy, slower vibe, low mood or up and down moods, and in general a bit more sensitive, touchy and hormonal. These 2 hormones, as you can see here on this graph, gradually fluctuate and rise and fall. So although we know them as dominant in each half, hormone levels are constantly fluctuating and changing day by day, which is what makes the cycle so intricate, delicate, complex, and its experience from woman to woman so different. Of course, there are not just 2 hormones that govern the menstrual cycle. We also have LH and FSH, though without going into too much detail, these guys are mostly only relevant in initiating and around ovulation, where you can see on the graph here where they peak and fall. So the main takeaways are, the cycle is not just about periods. It affects energy, mood, metabolism, performance, sleep, productivity, focus, learning to work with your cycle and these natural hormones, thus energy, mood, productivity, fluctuations, can all in all boost your energy, reduce stress, improve sleep, fitness, and general overall health. Syncing your lifestyle, exercise, your workouts, your movement, and your nutrition with these hormonal fluctuations can help balance these hormones and also improve your overall well-being. So as I said in the beginning, the goal of the cycle is to prepare the body for pregnancy every single month. It does this by nurturing and growing an egg inside the follicles in the follicular phase, to then releasing that egg to be fertilized during ovulation, which is that tiny 2 to 3 day window, which is the ovulatory phase, to then building up the uterine or womb lining for the potentially fertilized egg to implant into that cushy wall and grow into a baby, to then realizing there was no successful fertilization or implantation and breaking down that wall and releasing it with blood as a period, menstruation, menstrual phase. I hope that was helpful. There's a ton more detail on each phase in the links below, as well as phase-specific cycle syncing information, recipes, everything on my website and on my Instagram, also linked below. See you next time.